It is so nice to see so many of you today. A lot of new faces and a lot of faces from past years. And so it's pretty cool to see everybody and the turnout and the interest. What I want to kind of share with you is where the product is going, our product vision, our product strategy. Kath is going to join me afterwards as well to talk about the journey we're on with pricing and rebates, not just rebates. So I'll kind of share where the vision is, what our top 5 areas of investments, the why behind those areas, and then kind of unpack some of them and kind of showcase some of them for you. So if you look at what is the product vision and the strategy for Enable, basically an AI-powered SaaS platform for manufacturers, distributors, and retailers to manage and execute their pricing and rebate programs collaboratively. The value is, imagine a single source of truth for both pricing and rebates. Think of those two as major commercial programs. Single source of truth. Getting net margin clarity. True net margin clarity. The next one is streamlining the processes and the collaboration between your sales teams, your finance teams, your operations teams, and even your trading partners. We truly believe in the future of collaboration. And the last one is AI fully embedded in the platform. The value of actually having AI fully embedded in the platform is how do you optimize the mix between pricing and rebates to drive more margins, to drive more financial outcomes. So I'll talk next about the top 5 areas of focus. Number 1, AI. Is AI on everybody's mind right now? A show of hand of who's actually gone on the AI journey. Show of hands. Awesome. I'll talk a lot about it today. The next one, platform. ERP integration, productizing integration with pricing and rebates with some of the largest leading ERP vendors. Think of SAP, Dynamics 365, Oracle. Show of hand, who has more than one ERP in their business today? Who's on SAP? Who's on Dynamics? Anybody on Oracle? Infor? Epicor? Doing these integrations actually allows you, number 1, is actually to interconnect your critical B2B systems. It allows you actually to onboard and implement your programs more quickly. And so that's a big push for us this year across both FlintFox and Enable. ERP integration, productized. Identity and access management, modernizing role-based access control. IDP, enhancing data ingestion and data reporting. Different mechanisms. If you don't have an ERP or you have an in-house developed ERP, how do you ingest the data more rapidly? How do you get the data out of the platform more effectively? Big area of focus for us on the platform. Pricing and rebates. Pretty big one for us this year. Integrating the FlintFox product and the Enable product. And over time, bringing these products closer and closer and closer together. Expanding our rebate capabilities. Not only supplier rebates, customer rebates, promotions. We're talking about claims, we're talking about settlements. And we're a big believer in collaboration. So continue to evolve the collaboration capabilities in the platform. Super important. User experience. Ease of use. We get rated pretty highly on our UX and UI. But we want to work with your users to make it even more effective. And that's going to be a big push for both FlintFox and the Enable product, is ease of use and really working with your users to getting their jobs done more quickly with less clicks and streamline all of that process. Who was in Boston last year? Awesome. Do you remember that we kind of ran a low-tech survey because there was a technical glitch and we had to kind of wing it and start asking questions? I'll play back some of those questions for the audience, for the people that were here, but also for the people that are new this year. The results we got last year were extremely positive. So here's oh, I was trying to pull a fast one on you guys. I asked Dolly to render a younger version of me. And I don't think I can pull it off. My wife thinks I look pretty good in that picture. But here's the questions from last year. And I apologize for bringing the older version of me back. So on a scale of 1 to 5, how do you feel that AI can really impact the business world? It was pretty positive last year. It was a 4 to a 5 across the room. How many of you actually feel as strong or even stronger this year? Show of hands. Is it something that's being discussed within your company? Is your procurement team, your CFO talking about, if we're going to buy a vendor, what's their AI story? What's their AI strategy? That was a 4 to 5 last year as well. Is that the same or more this year? Show of hands for people that actually think it's still a really relevant topic being talked about in companies. It is. And it's innovating at a speed where if you're not keeping up, you're falling behind. And how much do you use actually AI capabilities in your personal life and your professional life? And last year was also a 4 to 5 in the audience. Is that the same this year or better? Show of hands for people that actually are starting to use it even more and more personally and professionally. So those were general questions last year. Really positive results. And in 1 year, the technology's actually come a long, long way. Another set of questions that was answered in a real positive way was the value of this capability within rebates. So we asked the question is, how would you find it valuable if you actually had AI that allowed you to actually understand your data, identify trends, identify outliers? You don't need to be a data analyst to be able to understand your rebate and pricing data. So last year, people were like, yes, it'd be great to have some AI capabilities in the analytical realm of rebates. Show of hands again, who actually thinks that that's valuable? Rebate optimization. When we say rebate optimization, what are we talking about? What if you could use AI to look at your deals and your contracts and rate them? And then say you should be making these changes and making recommendations how you could restructure your terms for better outcomes. Get into an environment where you can do scenario planning, a couple of options, being able to actually see the forecast. So that's rebate optimization. How valuable would that be on a scale of 1 to 5? Who's given it a 4 to 5 in the audience? Awesome. Agreement modeling and planning. What if we could streamline some of the manual processes with AI? An in-app assistant. What if you had a rebate expert in the application, allowing you to streamline what you're currently doing manually and assisting you in actually running your programs more effectively? How valuable would it be to have a rebate expert embedded into the application, streamlining some of the manual processes? Scale of 4 to 5. Who's a 4 to 5 on that one? Awesome. Anomaly detection, outliers, whether it's positive or negative, something you weren't expecting. What if you actually had AI to actually highlight things that are positive or negative in the unexpected realm? That was a 5 last year. Anomaly detection. You could probably even detect fraud. You could detect a positive or a negative anomaly in your data. How valuable would that be to the audience? Who's a 4 to 5 on that one? So the list went on and on. And so what we ended up doing was actually introducing a POC last year, AI-powered analytics. And I'll kind of highlight some of the key values that we brought to market. We did a POC in Boston, and we just brought it to market earlier this year. If you haven't seen it, please go at the demo booth and have a look. So when we're talking about AI analytics, what are we talking about? Self-serve, search, use regular business language, ask the agent, who's my top supplier in the last year, by quarter, and product line. You don't need to be a data analyst to actually start exploring your data. Ask the agent, he'll render the insights. Real-time performance insights. Monitor your commercial programs in real time. Have your trading partners monitor their performance of their programs in real time. Allow them to actually react and change their buying behavior in order for it to be a beneficial relationship. It's win-win. Rebates are pay for performance. You want to incentivize people through the supply chain to drive more revenue for that trading partnership. Change analysis is a capability where you can take any 2 points and compare them and actually identify what has changed, why it's changed, and by how much. And then the last layer is a real deep analysis, really looking at your outliers, your patterns, root cause analysis of why there's been such change in your rebate data, and then also having the ability to actually see what the trends are. We released it this year. It is very feature-rich. We've been working with customers on the value of AI-powered analytics. If you haven't seen it, please go see a demo. Jamie, we have a demo booth where we can demo that. Awesome. What's next in our innovation around AI? So we've been working with customers and asking them what would be most important. Who's heard the word or the term agentic AI? Agents. So think of the next generation of the chatbots, but being a little bit more autonomous. So an in-application rebate expert that could actually assist you in actually running your programs more effectively. Not just a chatbot, but an expert. And I'll show you a bit of the capabilities that we want to bring to market. And then rebate optimization. That's AI capabilities to actually forecast different outcomes. Having the ability to actually say, which of my agreements are good and why, but can you make them better? Which of my agreements are not performing? Why? What would you recommend those structures change be? So I'll kind of highlight a little bit of the capabilities that we want to bring to market. So just like last year, this year we have a POC around agentic AI and rebate optimization. Talking about the value. What if you could actually have simple agreement summarization? Just summarize the agreement, tells you the terms, tells you the conditions. Agreement creation. Digital capture of a PDF. Automatically create the agreement in the software, right? Automate the creation process of taking an agreement, bringing it in, replicating it. So agreement creation, streamlining the process. It'll speed up. It'll make you more agile. You'll be able to actually make changes in real time. Agreement scoring. So basically taking a benchmark and comparing that to optimized versions of that agreement. So agreement scoring and why an agreement is high or low in terms of score. And then prioritize work queue. So just imagine your in-app agent is helping your users focus on the most impactful tasks, and you prioritize them all in the application. So that's what an agent is. Just think of a chatbot, but working with way more intelligence, and at some point, way more autonomy. Imagine in the future where you can actually have the agent negotiate with your partners new deals. What if you could actually allow it to optimize deals in real time and renegotiate in real time with your trading partners? That's where agentic AI is, and that's where it's going, is really automate very manual processes in an autonomous working function. And that's where we're going. AI-powered rebate optimization. Agreement optimization is, think of like I talked about, a recommendation engine that is telling you you should be making these changes to your terms and your structure of your deal, because the forecast that we're producing gives you a better contract, gives you a better deal. Enhanced forecasting with past performance, but also augmenting it with external data sources. And scenario planning. A lot of customers have talked to me and said, it would be great if we had a kind of a what-if scenario planning tool, where I'm looking at various options. I want to move my money in a different way. I want to change my terms. What would be the outcome if I did scenario planning? Then you've got your option, and then you go and negotiate, and you get that contract signed. So, like I said, we got a POC. We want to work with customers and prospects to bring this innovation to market. And so, for the people that may not go see the POC, we've got a video. So, cue up the video, please.
Profit, not frustration. Yet, your team spends hours sifting through dense agreements, causing delays and uncertainty. And when performance dips, it's hard to know what to change. There's a better way. Introducing more Enable AI innovation, showcasing how artificial intelligence improves rebate management. With Enable AI, you gain immediate insights into your rebate performance. Explore your agreements with an intelligent assistant that understands your data intricately. Request performance scores. Uncover optimization opportunities. Choose the strategic direction you want Enable AI to optimize, and generate improved agreements aligned with your strategic goals. Visualize the potential outcomes and make informed decisions swiftly. Empower your finance team with better, real-time data about rebate programs. Enable your sales team to accelerate deal closures. Align your agreements seamlessly with your business strategy. Stronger partnerships, better profit margins, growth without guesswork. Enable AI, providing the clarity and confidence to trade smarter and outpace change. Want to see Enable AI in action? Visit our demo station, share your thoughts, and explore how we can innovate together. Let's shape the future of rebate management.
Awesome. So I'm pretty excited. I hope you're all pretty excited. It was number one on my list. And I said an AI-powered SaaS platform to manage pricing and rebates. We're heavily leaning into AI. We truly believe that it can make you more agile, and it can actually help you make more money with your partners. So show a hand again. Who's excited to go see the POC? Who's excited to get their hands on this type of capability? Awesome. Jamie, who's in the room, he actually wanted our AI to be named Jamie. We will name our rebate expert. We just haven't figured out what the name is yet. But Jamie is actually lobbying pretty hard for it to be Jamie. And he kind of inserted a bit of a hint in there as I was kind of presenting him. There is AI in Jamie. But Jamie will actually be running the demo. So Jamie, if you kind of stand up, you do look like your picture, but go see Jamie to actually see the value of what we want to innovate and bring to the market. Now I want to introduce somebody pretty special who's joining us through the FlintFox acquisition. She is going to give you guys a preview of FlintFox, their pricing capabilities, why it was such an important asset for us to actually join up with. And so Kat Brands, the CMO of FlintFox, now Enable, on stage.
Good morning, Chicago. I've always wanted to say something like that because I'm in America. I'm Kat Brands, and for the last 4 years, I have been the Chief Marketing and Innovation Officer at FlintFox, and I have recently joined Enable as their Chief Communications Officer. Now, I know you're all thinking, she's got a bit of an accent, she must be an Aussie. And yes, while I did come all the way from Australia to be here today, I'm actually a Kiwi. I'm from New Zealand. And how you'll know the differences is that we're slightly more refined, we're slightly more demure as human beings. Now, speaking of refined accents, last night at the bar, I was chatting to two chaps, and they were from farmland Georgia, just outside of Atlanta. And, you know, that is an accent. That is an accent. So I thought, to get everyone excited about what I'm going to be sharing in the next 10 minutes, this little Kiwi's going to try and throw down a southern charm. Are you ready? Brothers and sisters of rebates, the party has just arrived, and it's called pricing. Woo! Woo! No, it was terrible. I know. Oh well. Anyway, my job today is to give you guys a quick introduction to Flint Fox and our intelligent pricing capabilities. And, you know, really, if we're honest, pricing didn't really have a strategic role in an organization until really recently. And so what I thought I'd do is I'd share an example of a pricing strategy that didn't quite deliver, that I'm sure we can all relate to, which is toilet paper. Now, think about it. Before 2020, the toilet paper industry was pretty regular, right? Prices were steady, volumes grew with population growth, and everything was quite literally on a roll. And then COVID hit, and suddenly toilet paper was the hottest commodity on the planet. Demand spiked and prices soared and people stockpiled like there was no tomorrow. Retailers couldn't keep up. Pricing professionals couldn't keep up to change the strategy of what needed to happen. But once everybody worked through their backlog, pun intended, demand settled, but the prices didn't. They didn't because everything was changing. Demand was shifting, supply chains were shifting, rising costs meant that the pricing strategy had been flushed down the loo, and they needed to find a new way to start pricing. The toilet paper industry isn't going back to being regular. With volatility, it is now going to be constantly irregular, and there's this no more set and forget when it comes to pricing, and now pricing can't pretend to live in the back office anymore. It needs to live in the front office, and it needs to live in the boardroom. And the world has changed, and everybody's pricing strategy needs to change alongside of this, because otherwise you'll be left on the throne with a strategy that's not going to deliver. So, how do you make sure you don't get caught with your pants down when it comes to your pricing strategy? There are 4 questions that every company needs to ask themselves. The first one is, are you reacting fast enough to change? I mean, if Omar is any example today, that guy can talk fast, and that's how fast the industry is changing, right? Tariffs, it's crazy. And prices are literally changing overnight. They're changing by the second. And if you can't keep up with that change, what is the impact of your business? If you don't have the tools and the capability to change the cost of goods that are changing on an ongoing daily basis, what is that doing for your profits? What is that doing for your margins? Real-time pricing isn't just a nice to have. It's the difference between protecting your profit or watching it disappear down the loo. Question number 2, can you handle the complexities of the crazy omni-channel world that we live in today? There is no such thing as a single go-to-market. There is not just one channel that we sell through today. We live in an omni-channel world. I'm sure that even today, you've already played in multiple channels without even realizing, whether it was ordering a coffee on an app and picking it up in the store, whether it was ordering shoes like I did on the way to the conference today, or whether it was actually going in and transacting with a person inside of a store. There are no more rules. It's a minefield. Everything needs to be connected. Everything needs to seamlessly connect across channels and regions. Inconsistency can be very, very messy, and it can cost you if you don't think about this strategically through every single part of your pricing strategy. Now, let me ask you, do you really know how much margin you are actually making? Not just as a total business, but on every single SKU. Do you have that granularity? Andrew shared in his presentation earlier today that the research we found is that 86% of pricing professionals, 86, have lost profit in the last 3 years because they couldn't adjust their pricing fast enough. This is only going to get worse. This is only going to get worse. And no one likes a leaky tap. You hate a leaky tap in your house, so why would you want to have it inside of your pricing strategy? And many organizations, that's exactly what pricing has become. It is a leaky tap. You can't identify where that leak is coming from. You need to tighten up. And it's not just about speed, it's about the outdated tools that are causing this to be a big, big problem. Which brings me to my next question, which is, let's be honest, many businesses are still stuck with pricing systems that were born when I was in the 80s, or maybe even before that. In fact, many of you guys here today are actually 10 steps ahead because you've already implemented a rebate piece of technology that's going to help you with the rebate leakage. But then think about it when you can tighten up your pricing as well. Did you know that 72% of organizations, obviously not you guys, are still relying on spreadsheets on a daily basis to manage all their pricing? Now, there's nothing worse than that error, that message that comes up when you're in the middle of a huge, disgustingly big spreadsheet. It's a missed opportunity. It's a missed opportunity, and you're leaving money on the table, not because the strategy is wrong, but it's because you don't have the tools. The tools are holding you back. And identifying these three challenges around lack of speed, complexity, and systems limitation is critical. But that is only half the battle. Always comes back to the loo people, always comes back to the toilet people. The real value comes when you start to ask yourself, where exactly is this margin being flushed down the drain, and how do we stop it? And so we've talked about complexity, we've talked about volatility, we've talked about outdated tools, and we've talked about margin leakage. But here's the good news. You don't have to accept that as a reality. Woo! Woo! Because, woo! That's exactly where FlintFox comes in. We're built for complexity, we're designed for speed, and we're ready to plug into any system to update it. We help you stop the leakage. We help you simplify the chaos. I swear to God, the people that I work with are way less chaotic than me, and they can turn pricing strategies into real profits that deliver. So what is FlintFox? What is it, Kath? What is it? Wow, people, it's a configurable application. It's not rigid, and it's not a one-size-fits-all platform. It gives you real-time control over all your pricing. It brings everything together in a single application to help you manage complexities across channels, geographies, customer types, products, attributes, whatever it may be. It's unlimited. The rules are unlimited. And you can customize this and configure it to your business, because no organization has a one-shoe-fits-all approach to the way that they're price approaching. It's a commercial command center, for lack of a better term, and it's designed to flex and it's designed to scale with you as the market changes on the daily, moment, second basis that it is today. Under the hood, and what we're really, really, really famous for, and what we're also really proud of as an organization, is we are a high-performance pricing and rebates engine. Now, why does that matter? Well, it's like, what's the difference between driving a really fast Formula One car and a really slow Formula One car? Everybody wants to be in the winning car. But one of the biggest frustrations that organizations have today is that their ERPs are slow and that their ERPs are slowing them down. They can't react and they can't change and they can't execute pricing as quickly and as change is coming down the line. Now you may think, why is 5,000 prices per second? Why do you need that? Well, why don't you need that? What's the alternative, right? If you can't execute your pricing in real time, that means every time a price changes and you don't have the ability to execute that price, you're eroding your margin. And so we give you the ability to execute across any channel, device, application at lightning speed, so no money is left slipping between the cracks. And the other thing that we are is, believe it or not, FlintFox has actually been around for 30 years. And this motley crew, there's a number of them in the audience today, and they'll be over at our demo station later today. And, these guys, they've seen it all, man. They have seen it all, from crazy TED discounts to 27 ERPs trying to wrangle together in one single spot. And these guys, this motley crew here, I can see them right here in front of me here, They really are pricing experts. There's nothing that these guys haven't seen in the 500 years of combined experience that we've had in the pricing and rebate space. That's how old Steve is. We don't shy away from complexity. In fact, we love it. We run towards it. And our customers, we understand that pricing is your competitive edge. It is your secret sauce, right? It's how you differentiate, it's how you win, and it's also how you can drive additional margin to help profitability. And we know that there is no simplified business model or a cookie cutter approach to pricing, but we don't want you to be like that. We don't want you to be cookie cutter. We want you to lean into the complexity of your pricing strategy that you've delivered and get the most out of it. Because if you get complexity under control, it no longer becomes a risk and it becomes your competitive advantage. So, what is it that we help you do? How do we summarize it into 3 key things? It comes down to what FlintFox does is we help you, first of all, build really strong foundations. We help you to bring together all your pricing data and all your logic into a simple place. No silos, no spreadsheet chaos, just one single source of truth. We help you execute at speed. Speed is what we care about. Calculate and manage prices in real time and execute it faster than your ERP can deliver, and deliver to any channel, device, or application, wherever you want it to go. And the other thing we give you is full visibility. We give you crystal clear insights, every detail of your margin and profitability. So you know where the leakages happen, you know where to stop it, you know where to plug it. We're not going to remove the complexity. We're here and designed to help you manage complexity with speed, clarity, and giving you guys the confidence to figure out what's next. Now, I think the really scary thing is when people start talking about pricing, they think, oh, you guys are going to come in, you're going to rip everything out, you're going to ruin everything. All these years and pain that we spent implementing ERP systems. We know how ugly an ERP is. So we've designed ourselves to work around the ERP. Inside of Dynamics 365 and SAP, we have a native integration. We actually sit inside of the applications so you can manage your pricing as if it was just another line item inside of your Dynamics 365. For other ERPs, we plug in and we bolt in as an API connection, pulling in all your data and then executing it to all the channels, devices, or applications that you need it to be. We don't need to make your pricing backend more complex. We know it's complex from a technical perspective. We're here to simplify it. So complex pricing strategy, complex backend for pricing, simplified with your friendly Kiwi friends at FlintFox. So the other thing I just want to be really quite clear about is we don't try to be everything to everyone. We know what we're good at, and we have a purpose-built solutions for our 5 key industries: manufacturing, wholesale distribution, retail, consumer goods, and life sciences. These industries are high volume, they've got crazy different price rules and cost changing on an ongoing basis, they've got layered rebates, they've got layered promos, they've got layered SPAs, deductions, channel structures, and that's exactly where we want to shine. We want to help you take that complex and strike that happy balance so that you can deliver the margin and profitability that you need. I want to tell you some stories. I like stories, as you can probably tell. I'm going to tell you guys a story about Wesco. Some of you might know Wesco. They're a big US distributor, global distributor. They've grown through acquisition. They came to us and they said, we've got 23 ERPs. Doesn't that just make anybody's heart sink? 23 ERPs. And their pricing team was stuck. They didn't know how they were going to wrangle all this data together, how they're going to bring it all together. At the same time, they couldn't afford to bring together 23 ERPs into a simple system and operate their day-to-day business. FlintFox to the rescue. The number one issue that we solved for these guys was not only bringing together all their data, but they have a pricing catalog that they could only update 10% of the pricing catalog in a single month. Now with FlintFox as part of their family, and a really embedded part of their system, we're helping them to update 100% of their catalogue to every single customer, and it's done in a matter of minutes. So it means that no longer do they have to wait 3 months to update to the bottom percentage of their customer base. It means that their margins can now be updated on an absolute daily basis, so the revenue leakage has gone away. The second story I want to tell you is about our friends from Coca-Cola Beverages Africa. I mean, these guys are complex in so many different ways. So they operate across 18 different countries, and they needed to bring together all their different data and pricing into one system. They actually decided to retire their old legacy tools that they had as an ERP, and they implemented Dynamics 365. So we came in as the pricing partner to help them wrangle the craziness of what happens, and in order to give them that real-time visibility and real-time pricing that they could execute across wherever the sales team were. And remember, in Africa, selling is slightly different. You've got a guy selling off the back of a truck. When you cross from one border to another in Africa, all of a sudden a sugar tax gets applied. And what we gave them is the ability for their sales team to be able to sell with confidence, and the team back in Coca-Cola head office, and I used to work for Coca-Cola back in the day, and I know what it's like in that head office, give them the confidence that every time they sell a case, they know they're going to be hitting the profits and margins that they need to deliver. And finally, I don't know about you guys, but when I come to the US, the first thing I do is go for a margarita at a Mexican. It is the best. It is the best. And one of my favorite things is Mexican cheese. And V&V Supremo is a customer of ours. And these guys, they're manufacturers of delicious Mexican cheeses. And with milk being the way that it is, milk is commodity based. And so the prices fluctuate on an almost daily basis as well. And what we did is we built for them a commodity-based pricing model that meant that every time the milk prices changed, it instantly updated their pricing and it executed it across all the different channels that they sell into, reducing that margin leakage, which no one can afford to let happen today. So I just really want to end this by saying there's no need to be terrified. At Flint Fox, we're here to help you deal with that, turning pricing panic into pricing capability. We'd love to come in, if you want to talk to us today more. We're all floating around today. We'll be at the booth, and that motley crew, they're all here roundabout way. So last of all, thank you so much for your time today. I hope you now have a little bit of an understanding about pricing. And thank you to Marty for taking us through the amazing roadmap at Enable. We're excited to get rid of the terror of tariffs. See you soon.